Every generation creates its own path to success. Decades ago, it was college degrees, corporate jobs, and traditional career ladders. Today, for a growing number of young people, success can begin with a camera, an internet connection, and the ability to capture an audience's attention. The creator economy has transformed content creation from a hobby into a legitimate career path. Kai Cenat knows that better than most.
Kai Cenat.
Kai Cenat.
Kai Cenat.
After building one of the largest audiences online, he began asking a simple question. What if the next generation of creators didn't have to figure it all out alone? What if aspiring creators could learn directly from successful streamers, build valuable connections, and gain exposure without spending years figuring it all out themselves? That question would soon become the foundation of one of Kai's most ambitious projects yet. Then the answer arrived on June 11, 2026, when Kai Cenat officially announced Streamer University 2026. The program promised something every aspiring creator dreams of: a chance to learn, build connections, and get their name in front of people who could change their future. Within hours, the announcement spread across social media, attracting thousands of hopeful applicants who saw it as a rare opportunity to fast-track their journey into the creator world. The idea wasn't just a dream, it had already proven it could work. In May 2025, Kai Cenat hosted the first Streamer University at the University of Akron. More than 1 million people applied, but only 120 made the cut. With 17 creators serving as professors and Kai covering every major expense, the event quickly became one of the most talked about projects in the creator world. The results were hard to ignore. The first season generated more than 26 million hours watched on Twitch, while participants gained exposure to audiences they had never reached before. Former FaZe Clan videographer Arky became one of the clearest success stories. During the Streamer University finale, his stream attracted more than 11,000 peak concurrent viewers, a milestone that helped pave the way for a full-time streaming career. And according to Sportskeeda, he wasn't the only creator whose trajectory changed after attending the program. To understand how Kai was able to pull off a project this ambitious, you first have to understand just how big he had become. This is Era Review, where fame meets truth, and today's story is about a streamer who didn't just dominate the internet, he redefined what online success could look like. It's easy to see Kai Cenat as one of the biggest names on the internet today, but years earlier, he was simply a young creator trying to turn his passion into a career. Born in New York City on December 16, 2001, and raised in the Bronx, Kai eventually dropped out of SUNY Morrisville to pursue content creation full-time. It was a risky move. Success on the internet was far from guaranteed, and few could have predicted where that decision would lead. Just months before Streamer University's Atlanta application event, Kai reached another historic milestone. During his month-long Mafiathon 3 subathon, he made Twitch history on September 28, 2025 by becoming the first streamer ever to surpass 1 million active paid subscribers, cementing his place at the top of the streaming world. But Mafiathon 3 wasn't just about breaking records. It also helped fund the construction of a school near Lagos, Nigeria, showing that Kai was using his influence for more than entertainment. So when Streamer University 2026 opened, thousands were willing to travel across the country for a single opportunity. This time, the application process offered more than just student spots. Borrowing the structure of a traditional university, applicants could apply as students to develop their skills, professors to teach their area of expertise, or club directors to organize activities and communities within the program. The concept was simple: create a campus where aspiring creators could learn, collaborate, and grow alongside some of the biggest names on the internet. The program wasn't designed around traditional classroom subjects. Instead, it focused on the skills that actually drive success in today's creator economy: gaming, IRL content, and just chatting. Through hands-on workshops, content collaborations, and networking with established creators. And while the opportunity was unique, the requirements were simple. Applicants only had to be at least 18 years old, legally able to travel within the United States, and able to show why they deserved a spot. The first class had already set high expectations. Around 120 students made it into the 2025 program, where they learned from creators like DDG, Agent 00, and Chris Next Door, a lineup that showed just how seriously Kai was taking the project. By 2026, Streamer University had become so popular that creators like Stable Ronaldo and Cutie Cinderella publicly expressed interest in joining the faculty. With only a few spots available and over 1 million people applying the year before, many creators saw the auditions as a chance they couldn't miss. Some even waited outside for days. But while the New York and Los Angeles events went smoothly, Atlanta was different. By June 15th and 16th, thousands had gathered outside the location on Hank Aaron Drive, forcing Atlanta police to step in. Over the 2 days, authorities made 7 arrests on charges that included disorderly conduct, obstruction, and assault on a police officer. As the crowd continued to grow, Atlanta police announced that the scheduled audition at 450 Hank Aaron Drive would no longer take place at that location. Kai Cenat also addressed the situation, telling viewers that the chances of the event going ahead as planned were becoming increasingly unlikely. The uncertainty only fueled more chaos. As tensions rose outside the venue, a false rumor began spreading across social media, claiming that a bomb had exploded at the event. The story quickly gained traction online, triggering spikes in searches related to a possible bombing in Atlanta. However, the claims were entirely fabricated and were later debunked by fact-checkers and local authorities. The misinformation grew severe enough that the Atlanta Police Department had to issue an official statement to the media, stating, "The Atlanta Police Department is aware of a video circulating on social media that alleges a bomb incident at the Kai Cenat event. This information is inaccurate. The video in question did not originate in the city of Atlanta, and there is no such incident within our jurisdiction." The cancellation created even more uncertainty for the hundreds of people who had traveled to Atlanta for the auditions. Many had already spent their savings on flights, gas, and hotels, leaving them with few options if the event was delayed. Then, late Tuesday night, Kai Cenat finally provided an update. The auditions weren't canceled. They were simply moving to a new location. However, to prevent people from camping outside overnight, he chose not to reveal the new venue until the following morning. At 9 a.m. on June 17th, Kai Cenat finally revealed the new audition venue, State Farm Arena. The announcement triggered another surge of excitement, with thousands of hopeful creators rushing to the location. By mid-morning, the area around the arena was packed with attendees, forcing police to close nearby streets and increase security throughout downtown Atlanta. To keep the situation under control, organizers allowed people inside in small groups, while officers monitored the growing crowd. As the crowd continued to grow, not everyone was willing to wait it out. Reporters at the scene noted that some attendees eventually left the line, deciding that hours of waiting with no guarantee of getting inside simply wasn't worth the risk. Others felt they had come too far to give up, having traveled across the country and spent money they couldn't easily replace. For them, turning back wasn't an option. The situation became even more tense when police responded to a suspicious package discovered near the arena. For a brief period, concern spread through parts of the crowd as officers moved in to investigate. Fortunately, the package was cleared without incident, but the scare highlighted just how challenging it had become to manage thousands of people gathered in one place. Throughout the day, law enforcement maintained a heavy presence around downtown Atlanta, working to keep the event safe and under control. As the hours passed, the crowd became harder to control. Thousands surged toward the arena entrance, creating dangerous pressure around the glass doors. Witnesses described a chaotic scene, with people standing on trucks, throwing items into the crowd, and pushing their way forward. Near the entrance, the situation grew especially tense as attendees were squeezed together, raising fears of injuries as some struggled to stay on their feet. With tensions rising outside the arena, Kai Cenat posted an urgent message on social media. "Atlanta, please back off the glass and form a line. We want to keep the event open, but if safety requirements aren't being followed, the decision to shut it down will be made by the city, not by us. Please work with us so we can keep things moving." The message reflected just how serious the situation had become. With thousands of people packed outside State Farm Arena, keeping the auditions running now depended as much on crowd control as it did on the event itself. Amid all the confusion, another unexpected moment grabbed attention. Soulja Boy had jokingly asked Kai Cenat for an invitation to Streamer University, saying he'd consider Kai an op if he wasn't included. It was a small moment, but it highlighted just how much influence Kai Cenat had built. In 2026, one of the internet's biggest creators held enough cultural power that even a platinum-selling rapper couldn't get past event security without approval. At 2:15 p.m., Atlanta police announced that the audition was officially over. Shortly afterward, State Farm Arena released a statement confirming that the event had been shut down due to the overwhelming crowd and safety risks, with everyone still waiting outside asked to leave the area. Due to the overwhelming number of people attending today's Kai Cenat Streaming University audition and subsequent safety concerns, auditions have been stopped, and those outside of State Farm Arena have been asked to remove themselves from the line. Just like that, the event came to an abrupt end. leaving thousands of hopeful creators disappointed and raising questions about whether the program had simply become too big to manage. Kai Cenat quickly shared the arena's shutdown notice on his Instagram story, officially confirming to his followers that the Atlanta auditions had come to an end. Despite the chaotic scenes and massive crowds, the day ended without any major violent incidents. Police later stated that there were no significant public safety events at the venue, and that the only arrest made at the arena itself involved a man charged with being a pedestrian in the roadway. In the end, the auditions weren't shut down because of violence. They were shut down because the crowd had simply grown too large to manage safely. Then the outcome was entirely different. Hopefuls like Lamar Giles, who had driven all the way down from Beverly, New Jersey, explicitly stated why they risked it. He's been putting a lot of people on a bigger platform, and if I were, by the grace of God, to get in there, I know that my personality and who I am will, if I go on that platform and he gets me up there, I know that I will skyrocket. For many young people, the appeal of Streamer University was easy to understand. With rising college costs and a difficult job market, a chance to impress one of the internet's biggest creators felt like a real opportunity. And Kai Cenat himself was proof of what was possible. After choosing an unconventional path and building his own audience from the ground up, he had become one of the most successful streamers in the world. But while Streamer University looked like another major success, Kai wasn't immune to the pressures that came with that level of fame. In the months leading up to the Atlanta event, he had spoken openly about feeling burned out and frustrated. Around his birthday, he admitted he was struggling with the demands of his career before stepping away from regular streaming in early 2026 to focus on other projects. In many ways, the return of Streamer University became part of his comeback story. Just weeks later, from July 15th to July 20th, 2026, Kai officially launched Streamer University 2026 on the campus of Hendrix College in Conway, Arkansas. For 6 days, 120 accepted creators streamed 24/7 alongside viral creators and professors. The numbers were staggering. Over 56 million hours watched, and a peak concurrent viewership of 1.45 million across Twitch and YouTube. However, the program wasn't without legal fallout. On June 26, 2026, musician Caleb Gottfried, known online as SNVRK, filed a federal lawsuit against Kai Cenat LLC and Night Media, alleging that unsafe, overcrowded conditions at the New York City audition left him with 2 near heatstroke episodes, and that his image was used without consent as unpaid background talent in promotional content. He's seeking more than $330,000 in damages. Cenat is also facing a separate lawsuit from a man alleging he was assaulted by Cenat's bodyguard at the 2025 Dominican Day Parade in New York. And just when it seemed the story was over, Kai made one final announcement. Streamer University wasn't ending, it was expanding. The next chapter would take the program beyond the United States, with Streamer University 2027 officially heading to Europe.
Streamer University 2027 will be taking place in Europe.
Which brings us to the question, was Streamer University a scam? Based on what we've seen, it's hard to argue that it was. The real dark reality isn't that Streamer University is a scam, it's the terrifying danger of uncontrolled viral hype. When hundreds of thousands of young creators view a single streamer as their only ticket to financial freedom, even an audition can trigger a public safety emergency. The truth is, no program can change everyone's life. Thousands showed up, but only a small number could be selected. For many, the journey ended before it even began. Still, whether you love him or criticize him, Kai Cenat has already achieved something remarkable. He built one of the largest audiences on the internet and then tried to use that influence to create opportunities for others. That's the real story behind Streamer University. It wasn't just another creator event, it revealed just how powerful internet influence has become, and how far people are willing to go for a single opportunity. Here at Era Review, we believe every viral moment has a deeper story behind it. That's why we don't just cover the rise, and we don't just cover the fall, we cover the reality. Whether you subscribe or not, we're grateful you chose to spend your time with us today. This is Era Review, where fame meets truth. We'll see you in the next story.